Hello, you gorgeous people. Welcome to my channel. My name's Tara and I'm here to help you make confident choices with your beauty buys. And today it's a double whammy. I'm looking at Natasha Denona's bronze palette and her bronze cheek face glow palette. Now, in this video, you're going to see swatches of the eyeshadow. You're going to have a look at me putting them on, putting the eyeshadow palette on and the cheek palette for the very first time, and the very first time I've ever used Natasha Denona eyeshadows, and pretty much the first time I've ever used her cheek palette either. I did buy tan and realised very quickly that it was not going to work on my skin tone, so I gave that away. So I didn't really use that apart from putting it on once and going, this colour is not right for me, and handing it over. So you'll get to see both of those things. Now, I'm in the UK. I've had these shipped over from America. I believe they are out in the UK on around the 9th of July. I think they'll be available in Selfridges. But here we are. So this is the eyeshadow palette. We've got 15 colours. It's very bronzy. I must admit, I thought these colours were going to be a little more reddy, but they're not. It's all definitely a very bronzy story. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 mattes. You can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4 mattes. A kind of cream matte, which is a very dark colour, which I love. A kind of cool tone called rhodium, which is interesting. And then 4 very similar golds. And I have used this once. So far I have really enjoyed it. I'm amazed at the formula. I have never used Natasha Denona eyeshadow before, and it goes on like butter. There is no fallout. I've really enjoyed using them. I feel like I maybe would have liked a slightly different colour in there, maybe not 4 golds, maybe a poppy red, or really contrasty green or something, or a purple, something a little bit different. But other than that, formula-wise, brilliant. And the bronze cheek face and glow palette, which has got this little flap to protect the creams, and these are bounce creams. They're kind of quite not so creamy, they're very stiff. This is a blush, which is a much cooler toned bronze, and we've got a very, very, very warm toned bronze there. And then this is a kind of glowy thing that you just kind of put all over. I've never used a palette like this before, but I've got it all on now. You'll see the demo. And I've got to say, I'm wowed by this cheek palette. I was worried because the bronzer looked very, very orangey, and I was very worried about it. I would say I'm light tone, but with a gentle hand. I really, really, really love this palette, and I'm relieved because, I sort of spent £55, and then for the postage and packaging it ended up being quite an expensive palette. But I think this is an absolute winner. Surprisingly, I've fallen in love with it more than the bronze palette. I just think that there are a few sort of repeated shades and different golds that, yeah, they look different when you sort of put them on your fingers, but I mean, yeah, they don't really look that different on the eye. However, formula-wise, great palette, lovely. Mucky mirror, again, from me. A nice colour here, Bliss, which is quite reminiscent of the duochrome VR Rose Venus in Pat McGrath's Divine Rose palette. But yeah, these have just landed. I'm still kind of playing around with them. This is my first time, but delighted with the cheek palette, more than I was expecting to be. I was a little worried that it wasn't going to be one I was going to grab for. Really like this, just feel that maybe there could have been 12 colours instead, and maybe bigger and 12, because I do feel it's all a little bit repetitive. But if you're looking for a bronze look, fantastic stuff. I'm going to stop talking about these right now and you can have a look at some swatches. So I'm going to do top row, second row and last row. So we've got True Copper, Suntan, Sundown, Deep Dive and Rhodium. And then the second row, Magma, High Degree, Alloy, Ridge and True Bronze. Then the final row we've got Gloaming, Palladium, Bliss, and finally Silk and Beach. Okay, and now you're going to have a look at me going into these for the very first time, literally half an hour after they landed on my doorstep. So I'm not entirely sure what I was doing, but take a look at how I got this look. Okay, so let's start with the eye palette. I have no idea what I am going to do. I think I'll go in with Beach first of all. Now I'm seeing 4 golds here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They all kind of look similar, but I think we'll go in with this True Copper. I think I'm going to go in next with High Degree. Formula I think is really nice. So I think I'll try this Deep Dive now. Not sure what to do next. I love this Bliss. This kind of reminds me of the VR Rose Venus in Pat McGrath Divine Rose palette, the first one. I don't know if it's really doing that much there. Now I'm going to go in with this rhodium colour at the end. My trusty eyeliner. This is just L'Oreal. So I'm going to pop a lipstick on now. This is Pat McGrath Peep Show. Lovely neutral colour. And now I'm really excited to try the bronze cheek palette. Now I did have tan and it was way too dark for me, so I had to give that away, but this I think I can work with. I'm just not entirely sure how. It's quite unusual. The Bounce Cream Glow, so these are kind of creamy, quite stiff though. And then 2 powders, so go in with this blush glow, which is, oh. I don't really know. It's very cool toned, it's quite mauvey. And then I don't know, I feel like maybe I'm going to go in with the blush, with the bronzer next. But I can wear it, it's not so dark that I can't wear it, which the tan palette for me was just like, it was just a muddy mess, it was too dark for me, which I should have known, but actually yeah. Okay, and then this is the kind of, this is a powder as well, so maybe I'll put this kind of all over this Super Glow Nude. Does it all need buffing out a little bit, maybe? So there you have it. This is Natasha Denona face, the eyes and the cheeks. And if you are thinking of grabbing this, I say go for it. I really think it's wonderful. Do watch a few reviews. It's always disappointing when you spend a lot of money on makeup and you don't get what you were hoping for, but I really, really love this. I have surprised myself. I think it is fantastic. I've been using By Terry's Sunny Flash CC powder every day in the summer. I've done a review if you want to take a look at that. Is this going to take that over? I think it might. And I have seen a few people saying that they would use the bronzer, but only with their own matte bronzer underneath, and then a very light touch of this over the top. I've also heard people saying that they would use an additional blusher, like to bring a bit more pink to the face. I wouldn't. For me, this is standalone. I think the way the colours work together is wonderful. I think Natasha has done a really, really clever job with this palette. And I'm using textures and formulas I've never used before, so I love it. I do feel I could go wrong with too much of this bronzer, but the right amount and a light hand and Glow Central, I love it. Now, the eyeshadow palette, I really love the formulas. I've only had it for like a few hours, so there's a lot more for me to look at. I think I'm going to try maybe doing some slightly more matte looks, maybe a really dark look with this deep dive on my lid. But yeah, here we go. This is what I've done today, being brand new to both of these, and it is a big, big, big thumbs up. I'm relieved because I spent a lot of money on these. So as I said, if you're in the UK, I think they're available from July the 9th from Selfridges. You can be like me and have them hauled over from America sooner if you want. Personally, I'd wait. I should have done, but I'm a beauty geek. But big, big, big thumbs up. I am excited to use these more. I would love to know if you are thinking of grabbing either or both of these. Have I persuaded you if you were on the fence with the face and cheek palette? And we also know, of course, that Natasha says you can use the bronzer on your eyes as well. So if it is a little darker for your skin, or you find it's a little bit too bronzy or warm, you can use it as an eyeshadow. But have I tempted you to maybe have a look at that one? And do you think that this bronzy gorgeousness is something you need in your collection? I would love to know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. I've got more coming up. If you can hear drilling, that's my builders building a shed out the back. I'm going to be looking at Charlotte Tilbury's Queen of Glow eye palette. I'm still going to do Pat McGrath. I want to look at her Bronze Seduction palette, which has wowed me every time I use it. I'm going to be doing a comparison of Charlotte Tilbury's Queen of Glow eyeshadow palette with Victoria Beckham's Silk Brick. I feel they're very comparable, and if you're looking at one or the other, I'm going to try and help you decide which one to go for. And I'm really excited about those Dior Quints that are coming out very soon. So if I can grab one or two of those, I'm going to do that as well. For now, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this or found it in any way helpful, please subscribe, like the video, and I will see you very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.